Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today is September the 15th, and I'm having a hard time sleeping because this is Rosh Hashanah, and I'm wondering if the Lord is going to return this year on Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets. And as I'm awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, I never did post my dreams for 2015. So I just wanted to quickly, because I only had, I think, 3 dreams, and they were back in February and March. And I had 1 dream in February, 2 in March, and I haven't had any of significance since then. But on February the 28th, I dreamt that I had on like a jean jumper, and I had bent down in the folds of the skirt part of the jumper. Money fell out, and I seen the money fall out of my lap. I picked it up, and there were 3 $55 bills. Well, we have $50 bills, but we don't have $55 bills. So I Googled the $55 bill, and I don't have the information on me, but actually there was a $55 bill, I think, back in George Washington's time. But anyhow, I thought that was interesting, and I thought, well, why would I dream of 3 $55 bills? Well, I did a little research, and I found out that the number 5 stands for grace, and which is undeserved favor. And on June the 23rd, I was watching a YouTube video where someone had mentioned that the year 2015 was declared the year of triple grace. And it was like the Lord brought back to my memory that dream that I had about the 3 $55 bills falling out of my lap. So that was that dream. And then on March the 1st, I dreamt that one of my co-workers had passed away. And how I found out was I was looking at a newspaper, and you know how they have obituaries mentioned in the newspaper, and they're little small accounts. Well, this was a full-page article of my co-worker's obituary, and it was a beautiful picture of her in black and white. And I don't normally have color dreams, but she was like a young girl dressed in a I think she had a green dress on, and I know the background. No, she was in black and white, but the background of the newspaper was a green color, and there were like little white things, 2 on either side of her, and they made me think of fluffy clouds for some reason. I don't know what they were. But the background of the newspaper was green, where everything else was black and white. It was a full-page article, and at the top it had the date September, but it wasn't spelled out completely. It was like abbreviated SEPT, and then 07 at the top of the page. Well, that was all that I had in the dream. But on March the 14th, I was doing some research or something, and I felt that the Lord was bringing to my attention the meaning of September 07. And I feel that 7 on the Hebrew calendar is the month of Tishri. And the month of Tishri falls, you know, in around the middle of September. And that's what we're in now. And I just, in my spirit, felt that, you know, it's possible that it could have, be that the Lord is saying his return, you know, is going to be around the appointed time of the feast festival, the Feast of Trumpets. And I'm not date setting. I don't know the date or the hour, but that's a Jewish idiom, and I've been learning all of this as well. And the Feast of Trumpets, the Rosh Hashanah, it falls in September, and in the Hebrew calendar, the month of Tishri is our 7th month of September. And I believe it could be possible that it will be in the month of September that the Lord will return for his bride. And I had this dream in March, and on the Hebrew calendar, March is the first month on Israel's calendar called Abib, which means a time of harvest. And and then I also learned that the color green, when you're dreaming of the color green, the Bible describes this color as growth and maturity, and it can also represent in a dream a natural or spiritual rest. Well, I think of spiritual rest as going home to be with the Lord. And then on March 14th, this was my husband. He had, I think, was a vision, and I don't think he realized it. But in the early hours of March 14th, my husband woke up and was trying to go back to sleep, and he kept tossing and turning, and his tossing and turning woke me up, and I asked him, I said, "Are you okay?" And he was fully awake, and he hesitantly responded. He said, "It's nothing, just weird." And I said, "What?" And he said, "When I close my eyes, I see this figure of a man in front of me, and we are on a battlefield." And I responded, "That's not weird at all, baby. I believe that I believe that my husband was having a spiritual vision by the Lord, and we as God's children are on a battlefield, fighting the enemy of our souls, which is Satan. So hold fast. Let's examine our hearts in these next few days and really repent and turn to God, our first love, because he's coming back for a church that is spotless and without wrinkle and with no blemishes. You know, the last church age of the 7 churches mentioned in Revelation is the church of Laodicea, the lukewarm church. And that's the church age that we are in now. And time is almost up, and we need to be ready. God bless you, brothers and sisters. May be found worthy to partake in the rapture.